Hello my dudes, second day of the deload week and I'm really going through it. I have my lungs inflamed, they're super itchy. When I breathe it makes me wanna cough every time. I couldn't sleep much yesterday night because of it, so I went to the pharmacy and they gave me a little something to calm down the lungs. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to go and see the doctors, but you like doctors? I used to. Then I had an autoimmune disease and I saw what they're really made of. And it changed some stuff in my life. Anyway, so for today, the program, I have some overhead press. I have some close grip incline bench press. I have some vertical pull and some squats. And of course, with this, we're gonna also be doing some shoulder stabilizer. Today we're gonna do some rear delt because I alternate between rotator cuff and rear shoulders. Today's rear shoulders and rear delt. And also some triceps. I'm doing triceps every session because I think that's a very weak point of mine and I need to have monstrously strong triceps if you want to push monstrously heavy loads. And we're gonna talk about specialization. I was talking about it 2 videos ago or something. And on this video, we're gonna specialize into specialization. Let's work. So why is there so many lifetime intermediate, what we call lifetime intermediate? So people that are staying intermediate for their whole life. It means that they're no longer beginners, they have some respectable performances and they cannot reach the next level to be like elite athlete. Elite is the name of my guide, by the way. If you're interested by that, go on my website parlaforce.com and you'll find some more. I have like 80 pages guide in there where we talk about every aspect of the training. Anyway, so right now we're gonna talk about why. And I think that people, it's not because they don't have genetics or they're not working enough, because usually these guys are working even harder. Some of them are working harder. And this camera is not working very high on focusing on me. All right. Some of these lifetime intermediates are working harder than elite athletes, because that's not what it's about. It's about specialization. Today, that's the angle. There could be multiple, of course. We could attack with the angle of the genetics, whatever. I don't think that's very interesting. today we're going to be interested in specialization, because usually the beginners, intermediate, they don't make choices. They don't make sacrifices in a way that when you want to get stronger at something, you need to specialize in this thing. So you need to give up on the rest. For example, on the training. You cannot be strong at so many different lifts at the same time. And it takes a lot of time to be really strong in one exercise. As I was saying last week, right now I'm gonna specialize into presses and deadlifts. And presses, I mean overhead, incline. I'm gonna add also some bench. And already this is a bit much, because I'm gonna have three main exercises for my press. If I was only doing horizontal bench press, flat bench press, it would be easier. But I want to also be strong at the overhead for now, and then I'm gonna see how it evolves in the future. But and the deadlifts. And usually people, they want to, not only they want to be strong into too many things at the same time, but they also want to have crazy cardio. They also want to, you know, the famous, this camera is not, what's the problem right now? The autofocus is on though. All right. The famous, how do they call that? Shit. I got it. Hybrid. The hybrid athletes. The famous hybrid athletes who would be strong and good cardio and have some other skills, etc. The bias is to think that they're gonna be, instead of being excellent into one, they're gonna be good in everything. And that's not what they end up with. They end up being a below average in everything. And usually they're gonna save some face by saying, oh, but I'm better than most. I'm better than most who don't train. I'm better than those who are not even trying. How is it of any comfort to think about yourself that with all these years you're better than someone who doesn't train? But for those who are training, they are below average. So they're below average into everything. Why not? Like, if that's your thing, I'm not gonna judge. No, I'm gonna judge. I'm judging. All right, I'm judging. But come to therapy. Come to talk about it in therapy. All right, so we can see a little bit clearer in this. If you want to get good at something, you have to specialize and sacrifice the rest. So you got it. Specialize. You need to specialize. And soon I'm gonna write down a new chapter of the guide. So if you bought it already, don't worry, you're gonna have it on your mail soon, in your mails soon. And if you didn't buy it, you're gonna have it whenever you do, and whenever I'm done with it. That's simple. So this chapter I'm gonna talk about how to specialize, because you need to have a plan. That's what I want to tell you now. To become elite, it doesn't just happen by accident. You need to have a plan. And to have a plan, you need to know yourself, like athletically speaking, because I guess that some are gonna be able to specialize into more stuff than others. That's, I think, where you draw the limits. Some are only gonna be able to be super strong in maybe one thing. It doesn't mean that you cannot do the other things. I think if you didn't understand what I'm saying, when I say that you have to renounce some stuff, it doesn't mean that you don't do them. It means that you're gonna still do them, but it's gonna be suboptimal. For example, me, I'm not training for bodybuilding. So in the term of aesthetics, hypertrophy, it's not gonna be optimal in a way that example, I'm not doing lateral raises, I'm not doing curls, I'm not this type of stuff, I'm not doing them. My shoulders are still getting quite some stimulus, but it's only a tool for my goal, which is strength. And yeah, so for example, the squats, my training is not at all optimal for the squats right now, because the squat is just a tool to help me on the deadlifts and to help me also on the rest, because the squat is always gonna help you carry overall your strength, your metabolism, etc., etc. So there you go. And also, when I say that you need a plan, it means that you need to pay attention to every detail and to every small exercises. For example, the accessories, the triceps, the shoulder stabilization, etc. You need to see where you need to put, like which basket you need to put your eggs in. And it's not gonna be random. Some people, they're not gonna need as much triceps than me. Maybe they're gonna need more pec, more whatever. We're not all the same, so you gotta know what you work and why. And me, for example, I know that I'm gonna need a ton of triceps work so it can carry all my presses that are usually being a bit held by this. And same for the joint of the shoulder. That's why every day I'm working the rotator cuff, the real delt, etc., to have as healthy as possible shoulder, because I know that this usually prevents me from really reaching my best levels in the press. And you need to track this. You just don't aimlessly train your triceps. My tricep, because usually when I see people writing down their exercises, they write down the main exercises, and then for the accessories, for the triceps, they're just gonna write 2 sets of 20. 2 sets of 20, we don't know how much, and you need to treat them as seriously as the main exercise, and you need to make them progress. So many people are doing lateral raises, back exercises, etc., with the same fucking weight for years. And they're like, oh, but I feel like I cannot do much, I cannot do more. You have to force yourself to get better at it. That's the only way. If you are only doing, let's say, 20 kg on the triceps push down, you are never gonna be able to bench press 200 kg. You cannot bench press 200 kg with 20 kg triceps. So you have to, and there's a way for that. First, pay attention to it. Invest them with all your desire and all your might. And I guess I'll talk a bit more in details about it in the guide, paraforce.com. Alright, now squats, and I'm gonna superset those squats with some rear shoulders. Let's see this. Here we are. So, in the deload week, you're gonna still push a little bit, you know? It's not a holiday week. You're still gonna push pretty seriously. Here it's taking a lot of me because I'm sick. I think that's why. I can't, but in the same time it feels good because it feels like it's kicking the sickness out of me. As you saw or not, I don't know if it filmed correctly, but for the rear delt, I'm doing a little bit of a complex because I'm doing strictly like they call birds. Then I'm doing some Y raises, and then I'm just doing some sort of face pull slash upright row with the elbows very open. What you want what you want to focus on when you're trying to target the rear delt is not to get help from the upper back. You don't want the rhomboid, you don't want the traps to get involved. So for that, I let my shoulders in front of me and I don't retract them. Because if during the movement you retract them, it means that you're gonna get help from those nasty boys back there. And you don't want that. Unless, no, but here, because I want the rear shoulders to work, my movement is just this. And every rear delt targeted movement needs to be like this. And I'm doing a little superset. as I told you, a little complex set with the Y raises and this, because I'm a freak. That's just me being me right there, you know? Alright, we're done with the video for today. I think I'm even done with the training. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna put my foot down. That's the end of the training for today. I've had enough. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, put a comment. It's a huge help for me if you do that. And see you in the next one.